So there's an actual group of iPhones that I probably hate as of this point, and it kind of shifts every single year or every other couple years. Whenever Apple makes some big changes within their iOS ecosystem, or there's applications that kind of change up, a lot of times a certain group of iPhones and a certain group of phones in general end up becoming less and less valuable over time. And this group of iPhones is the iPhones with lower storage volumes than the average selling iPhone right now, meaning the 64 gigabyte variants of all the iPhones that are available. Now, luckily for us, Apple doesn't really sell too many 64 gigabyte iPhones anymore. They do sell them in the certified refurbished market sometimes, but for a vast majority of them, Apple is not really selling many of them. I think the iPhone SE3 is the only one that's still 64, which is another reason why I don't like that iPhone. But the big thing here is that the reason why this is such a big issue nowadays is because Apple ends up going through and they take up so much system data and so much other data within your iPhone storage that this actually ends up causing in and of itself its own issues. You end up having less and less storage available on your phone, which is so crazy. And every single year that goes by, basically if you have 0 apps on your phone, if your iPhone started with like iOS 12 and it ended off with iOS 16 or something, even if you had 0, applications on your phone, you just installed the updates, you would still have less data on your phone on iOS 16 than you would on iOS 12, just because of all the extra features and everything added. So over time, these 64 gigabyte iPhones are basically becoming less and less. It's like you don't even have 64 gigabytes anymore, even if before you install the applications. I've seen this before on my 16 gigabyte iPhones back in the day, and now that we're at like 64, it's still kind of an issue. Now that we have like 120 gigabyte for base models on all these iPhones, it's a much better experience, which is really nice. But I will tell you, if you are planning on purchasing another iPhone, I would recommend avoiding all the 64 gigabyte variants of iPhones that you can. Unless you're buying this iPhone and you're doing nothing with it, like you're doing very basic things like calling people, messaging people, FaceTime, those types of things, or if you're more cloud-based and you're using your Apple ID more or whatever, for iCloud or whatever, then you're probably going to be okay with 64 gigabytes. But if you're actually using this phone for a long period of time, case in point for myself, my iPhone 13 Pro, my iPhone 15 Pro are 128 gigabytes, and I'm not going to run out of storage probably on either one of those. I manage my storage fairly well on both, which is pretty cool. But I will tell you, just be a little careful. If you're planning on purchasing another iPhone, I wouldn't really recommend buying a 64 gigabyte, iPhone anymore. The reason why these are different than Androids is because some Androids have like expandable storage and stuff. iPhones don't really have that. So that pretty much covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.